r/AskReddit. What is something that you're aware of that someone thinks you don't know? My ex-wife won't tell me about her boyfriend, but I see him at the bar occasionally and drink a beer with him. My kid likes him, so no problem for me. My co-worker was fired for inappropriate sexting/photos with our vulnerable person's clientele. They made him sign an NDA and gave him severance to keep it hush hush. He thinks no one knows. We all know, man. We all know. My son thinks I don't know he spends a few hours every night reading in bed after we've gone to sleep. Parents don't know I could hear them almost every night when they would talk about me and how much I was failing to them. Also how I was a lying teenager who also didn't get the good genes talking about my looks. I heard all of it, lol. This has applied to numerous friends in the past, unfortunately, but I have a friend right now with a bad drug problem, and he thinks he's fooling everyone. Will tell everyone he's too sick to talk or text during the day, but will call/text at 3 AM/4 AM to say he's partying and wants to know if anyone wants to join. Not slick at all, bro. I'm half deaf, and I make sure nearly everyone around me knows this so nobody thinks I'm ignoring them when I'm just not hearing them. The thing about that is, a lot of people think I'm a lot more deaf than I actually am. So people often talk about me when I'm nearby and assume I'm not hearing it, and by staying quiet and letting them think that I now know what nearly everyone I know thinks about me, it's helped me figure out who my real friends are quite a few times. That some co-workers don't like the way I'm doing my job, and that someone thinks I work too much. They seem to talk about it mostly to themselves and not to me. That our manager monitors what we do in real time from his computer and knows that they come in late, leave early, and duck off during the day. That's why they no longer work from home full time. I used to work as a night watchman for decades at a place and had my own set of secret keys that gave me access to practically everything. I would routinely, every night, check my boss's office to check the camera feed to see if there were any new cameras and to see what was going on because my boss would write everything down on a notepad and I would read it. I knew about all kinds of stuff they knew that they did not think I knew about. I even knew ahead of time when they were going to let me go to save money. Well, 20 plus years of getting away with all kinds of stuff I did was a hell of a run. Pretty sure the landlord put a camera in the attic space while making a big show of not getting another camera to work. The system uses multiple cameras and they may not know that I know that. We have a raccoon problem and the landlord fixed it, but there is still a problem. I think they think I'm going up there making noise since they cannot catch any raccoons or find where they are getting in. The other tenants are complaining about the noises. The only access to the attic is in my apartment. I do not go up there anyway because it is unsafe and I have balance issues due to health problems, but still, it annoys me that they may have tried to fool me by making a big show of not being able to get a wireless camera to work. The owner of the store I work at had an affair with the HR manager while he was alive. After he died, his wife took over the store and hired the husband of the HR manager to run the store and had an affair with him. Former friend doesn't know that I caught her trying to cheat on her husband. She and one of her husband's friends were sexting, exchanging nudes, talking about how they wanted to have sex, but they had to figure out how to keep it a secret from her husband and his partner. I was using her computer and she didn't realize she left Facebook open while she was messaging him. That the reason for his divorce is not that he dumped his wife, but rather that she dumped him after their minor daughter accidentally found a video of him filming himself masturbating. I used to live with my ex and her mom. 2 times when I got home from work, my ex wasn't home and used the excuse mom sent me on an errand. I saw a text on her mom's phone that said, "X, is he there? What do I do? X's mom. Well, I told him you went on an errand for me, so you can't come back empty-handed, otherwise he'll know something." Never thought she'd cheat or lie like that, nor did I think her mom would cover for her, but people will screw you over no matter how well you treat them. Like I said, she's my ex now, so I don't know if I should bring it up or just let it go. Either way, I'm done with her. My GF doesn't know that I found out why her ex dumped her. She lied to him and all of their friends and said she was being treated for stomach cancer for the whole time she knew them, just over a year. She keeps lying to me about shit too. I only found all this out after we'd had a child together, and I know her and her family are the type that will do or say anything to make sure I can't get any custody, so I'm biding my time and getting proof of shit before I leave. I've been sleeping on the sofa for the last couple of years whilst trying to sort shit out so that I can get to see my kid after I leave, and so that she can't try and make up some evil shit about me to tell the courts or our kid or anyone else for that matter. She was the love of my life. I really mean that. I would have done anything for her. I've been with her more than 10 years. Known her more than 20. Can't believe she's done this shit. There's so much more, but I don't know what's real and what's not. She's even said she was raped, but she told her friends that it was by someone different to the guy she said it was to me, so I'm pretty sure that's bullshit too. I realized a long time ago that I don't know her at all, because I can't know what's real and what isn't. I just know that it's a really ducking dangerous place to be stuck in if she ever finds out that I know. I'm a cop. My mom frequently uses edibles in a state where pot is illegal. I do not care. I don't care about pot. When I find it on the streets I throw it away and don't give tickets/charges unless it's literal pounds. She tries so hard to hide it from me, but I'm not that dumb. Cracks me up though that my mom's a drug addict and has been since probably before I was born. She's been high functioning for most of my adult life, but her constant sketchy behavior, poor money management skills, and attitude towards most things are a dead giveaway. My mother's sister's daughter and I have the same father. No one except my mother, her sister, my late father, and her late husband knew. Her daughter and her brother, my cousins, and entire family doesn't know. My aunt thinks I don't know. My dad's dad, who is a rich southern scumbag who sounds like a plantation owner when he talks, hired my dad, a lawyer, when I was born to get him out of paying child support. They ruled he didn't have to pay until he started making enough money, and when he did he never helped. I was diagnosed with diabetes, ADHD, and autism when I was younger, and he convinced me that I just had 12-year-old boy and that the mental stuff wasn't real. Come to find out these last few years he has known he has autism for IDK how long. He's a piece of shit and I cut him off. While I was in middle school our apartment was robbed sometime between my mom leaving for work and me coming home for lunch. About 6 months ago I found out the people who robbed us were my best friend's brother and aunt. My best friend's ex-wife told me this. In hindsight, everything that happened leading up to that day should have made it obvious. Funny enough, I hadn't seen this person in 10 years, and when my health started declining I reached out to him to make amends while I could. This was about a year before I found out. My parents split up when I was 3 years old in 1999. Also in 1999, the Disney film Tarzan was released along with the Phil Collins song You'll Be in My Heart. When my parents split and I became an anxiety-ridden emotional mess, they both individually told me that You'll Be in My Heart was my special song with that parent and that if I got scared I should just play that song. Their divorce got really nasty and the fight/dysfunction would be unbearable at points, but they both individually would still, and even today, say that song was my special song with each of them. I've thought about saying something before, but it feels like my own special connection with my family, broken though it may be. Pretty much everything I've learned from medicine. People assume because I have long hair, tattered and a very laid-back personality that I don't know much, and try to throw false information at me thinking I'm going to agree. Usually anti-vax rhetoric. The look on their faces when I just start throwing information from journal articles I read 10 years ago is ducking priceless. I have a master's in immunology. I had a relative who was diagnosed with terminal cancer, and they ended up getting a huge payout from it before kicking the proverbial bucket. During the last few months they had left, they spent a few grand and gifted me a four-wheeler. We were sitting around making inappropriate jokes one day about what their final hours would be like while flipping through an auto trader magazine. I saw an advertisement for a four-wheeler and said it looked nice, and then we immediately went and bought it because you apparently can't take money with you into the hereafter. The whole thing was just a surreal spur of the moment ducky decision. The four-wheeler ended up getting stolen about a year later and no one could figure out who stole it, and I didn't learn who the thief was until about 20 years later. My cousin's grandma confessed that a family friend stole it because he wanted to get even with me for making fun of his girlfriend. I don't even know what the duck I said about the dude's girlfriend, because I was 12 years old at the time the four-wheeler was stolen, and he was 36. 12-year-old me was not good at making fun of anyone or anything. Now whenever I see this family friend out and about, I always make sure to ask him if he's come across any decent four-wheelers lately. He's about 5 feet tall, weighs maybe 140 pounds soaking wet, and is built like a ducking parking meter. One of my biceps has a larger circumference than his entire waist. I don't even care about the four-wheeler anymore. I just enjoy watching him go into a full-on panic attack every time I ask him about four-wheelers. He's not a good person, and never has been, so at this point I have no remorse about any of this. He thinks I might know that he stole it, but he's also a druggie, and thinks I might not actually know that he stole it. It's that little sliver of crackhead hope that makes me laugh the hardest. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.